In a small, sleepy village nestled between the hills and forests of the north, lived a boy named Ariv. He wasn't the smartest in his class, nor the fastest on the field. But he had one thing no one else did, a dream as high as the sky. Every morning before the sun peeked over the mountains, Ariv would climb a small hill near his house and stare at the horizon. He wasn't looking at the village or the trees. He was looking at something beyond, something most people laughed at. One day, I will climb the highest mountain, he would whisper to himself. The villagers called him foolish. They would often say, "Why waste your time dreaming? Go help your father in the fields." But Ariv never let go of his dream. One day, while wandering in the forest, he met an old hermit. The hermit saw the spark in Ariv's eyes and asked, "Why do you look so far away, child?" Ariv replied, "Because I see a mountain no one else does. I want to climb it." The hermit smiled. "Then you must begin. Most never even take the first step." That night, Ariv packed a small bag with food, a rope, a diary, and his mother's old shawl. He didn't tell anyone. He just left a note on the wooden table that read, "I'm going to find the mountain. I'll return stronger." The journey was harder than he imagined. He walked for days. The sun burned his back during the day, and the cold froze his toes at night. He slipped down muddy paths, was bitten by insects, and his food ran out. At one point, he collapsed near a stream, exhausted and hopeless. Tears rolled down his face. Why did I come? Everyone was right. I'm a fool. Just then, a little girl approached him. She was no older than 10, barefoot, and carrying a basket of berries. She offered him some and said, "You look lost. Are you searching for something?" Ariv nodded weakly. "A mountain." She smiled. "Then don't stop here. Even the river doesn't stop flowing just because there are rocks." That moment stuck with him. On his path, Ariv met many people. A blacksmith who taught him strength, a monk who taught him silence, and a blind painter who taught him how to see beauty without eyes. Each lesson was like a stone added to the base of the mountain he was building inside himself. One day, he wrote in his diary, "Perhaps the mountain is not a place, but a person I'm becoming." Years passed. Ariv had become a strong young man, but he had yet to find the mountain he had always seen in his dreams. One day, a fierce storm hit the valley. Trees fell, villages flooded, people lost everything. Ariv, now a traveler with knowledge and skills, returned to his own village. He helped rebuild homes, carried food to the elderly, and gave shelter to those who lost everything. An old man asked him, "Son, why do you work so hard for us?" He smiled and said, "Because I've been climbing mountains, and this village is where it all began." After the storm, he saw it. The mountain, far away, hidden behind clouds, was the very peak he had seen as a child. But now, he wasn't chasing it. He had become worthy of it. The climb was steep, the air thin, and each step harder than the last. But every struggle in his past had prepared him for this to the top. He stood alone, wind against his face, looking at the world beneath it. He screamed, "I did it!" But there was no applause, no cheating, no medals, just silence. And in that silence, he heard a voice in his heart. This was never about the mountain. It was about the climb, about not giving up. Ariv returned to his village, not as a boy with dreams, but as a man who lived them. He opened a small school for children like him. Not a place for just books, but for dreams, courage, and hope that he often told them. Don't wait for people to believe in your dreams. Sometimes you must walk alone to show them the path. Years later, a statue of Ariv was placed on that small hill where he used to sit as a child. On the stone was carved, "Here sat a boy who saw a mountain and became one." Moral of the story: this story isn't just about Ariv. It's about every one of us. We all have dreams others don't see, and that's okay. What matters is, start, even if you're afraid. Fall, but rise again. Learn from every turn. And one day, you'll realize you were not chasing the dream, you were becoming it.